Hey Wanderers, and welcome back to Outlaws 1-It. Last time, Sully made a long pilgrimage through the cognitive realm. When he awoke, he learned that Jila was missing and possibly dead. Now the crew of the Honor must rush to save their missing crew member. We will begin with the three of you on board the Honor. Sully, you've just woken up and kind of met with
Vika,
Camilla, and so Vika, and then also Mal, and then you guys spoke briefly to Camilla, so you're now just on board the Honor, deciding what to do.
Are we flying towards Jila?
I don't believe you've taken off yet.
We take off.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason that we wouldn't have just immediately taken off, especially, I kind of said this a little bit during the last episode, but Vi has been making sure the ship is ready to take off at a moment's notice, just to be on the safe side. So the ship's ready to go. As soon as we have coordinates, we're going. Okay,
what you have is basically the coordinates from the last known position, right? So right before Salvador's ship was destroyed, that's where you have that's what you have coordinates to. So is there anything that any of you would like to establish before taking off, speaking to Camilla, any of that stuff that you have lingering in your mind that you want to do?
I would like to not die.
So Jila's dead.
As long as Lucy's okay, that's all I really care about.
Rip Lucy, we've already talked about this.
I don't think there's anything, at least for Vi, that she would, or that I need to establish for her.
I think Sully is too confused about basically anything to not focus on just the task at hand.
Right.
Yeah, he's so far out of the loop that there's not anything to talk about until someone tells him what to talk about.
So, for the first time in months, the Honor lifts off this desolate planet. And, do you take the skip drive or do you take your regular engines?
Skip drive's faster, right?
It is.
Skip drive is faster. I think
we'd take that.
Well, see, this is where I'm wondering if I think Vi wouldn't initially use the skip drive just because I feel like she would think that Chaos could track us that way. That's hard. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Yeah, I'll say that. I think Vi has the ship just set up as normal, and until anyone says anything else, she has set it up kind of autopilot. We're going towards the coordinates, normal engines.
Okay. You lift off the surface of this planet and again make that familiar jump to phased space. So everything kind of turns purple. There's a luminous sheen from outside as you start trekking faster than should be possible across space towards Jila's last known position. Do you want to
I thought they did normal?
Normal still looks purple. That's hyperspeed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, phased anti-space is what we did.
Sorry, I gave it a goofy name at the beginning of this, and I'm committed to it. All right. Anyone want to do anything on the way there? It's all right if the answer's no. I'm just giving you a moment if you want to have one.
About how long would it take us, even with regular? Are we looking
Salvador's ship was fast, and I said something 30 minutes, so 40 minutes to an hour.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was hours, you said.
No, it was pretty quick.
Okay.
Because the ship had just taken off, and they were sent after it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that. I thought I remembered it being hours, and I'm like, what are we doing spending 4 hours getting there?
Point being, it's not days. That's just what everyone
right. It's not the last time where it took you a month of flying in deep space.
I don't think we want to have a moment. I think Sully's just taking inventory of things, of both himself and his area.
Okay. Sounds good. Jila, you awake in the cognitive realm. This is familiar because you've been here before, so you can kind of see telltale signs. It's almost like waking up in a dream that becomes very immediately apparent as concepts are a little bit more manifest here, and also it's basically a void. Standing in front of you, you see Chaos.
Have I seen Chaos in this form before?
Chaos would look the same in this case. And so, yes, Chaos would still just look like Hector, the captain of the Great Wayfarer, but, black eyes.
Also, you saw Chaos when he ran your boyfriend through 3 months ago.
Looks the same, I guess is my point, in either place.
Hell are you doing here?
I live here, Jila. I'm kind of curious what you're doing here. I didn't realize Sully was dragging people in here with him.
So you didn't bring me here?
Well, trying to think of the right way to put this. I guess why be coy about it? I'm currently trying to destroy your mind with chaos. Congratulations on our really aggressive recruitment program. But I guess you're here now, which I was not expecting. So anyways, hello, how are you doing? Anything you want to say to me before your mind is turned to goo, and I start using you like a puppet?
Well, I'd like to wish you good luck, because I think you're going to need it. My brain is already pretty chaotic, so, what's a little more, you know?
That's true.
Do your worst.
Well, I hate to say phrasing, or maybe be careful what you wish for, but generally, I will say this, the subjects of this are not conscious during it. But anyways, I'd like to introduce you to a friend. This is who will be kind of your, I guess, you're their host is the point. So anyways, here's a friend, and he gestures over, and forming up from the void, you see a creature that is all claws and long arms. It almost looks wolfish, but oddly distended and with, like, ropes of muscles. Yeah, like I said, usually people are unconscious, so what you can do is just don't fight back, and this will be over super fast. And then you'll have this kinda as your new friend. I'm sure you guys will get along great. I'll leave you to it. By the way, if you ever do see Sully again, tell him I said hi. And the creature lunges forward towards you. What do you do?
It's the cognitive realm, so I can kind of do, like, whatever I imagine kind of happens, right?
Yeah, this is following strict Freddy Krueger rules.
So I think if it lunges towards me, I pull back my arm, and Ellie, my giant mechanical arm, materializes on it, and I punch it.
Alright, roll plus weird.
That's unfortunate, because that's a 0. Hey, it doesn't matter, I got an 11.
Where was this last week?
I don't know. It was far, far away.
No, you didn't roll bad last week. There really wasn't a way to win last week, you know? Anyway.
No, I had bad rolls, but that makes me feel better that they were...
You just happen to lose more quickly.
Yeah.
Do you want to do extra damage or not take damage? Or do, like, a status effect of some sort?
I'll do extra damage.
Okay. This thing lunges towards you, and you think that it's going to, open a maw and bite or slash at you with long claws, but instead, once its arm gets near enough to striking distance, it twists around and slimy tentacles starts to wrap around your arm as your large robotic arm smashes into its face. You can see it's not just that it takes the impact, but it actually starts to unform a little bit as jaws continue snapping and opening up like tentacles to try to wrap around your face. And it's back around to you because that's the way this game works.
So is my mechanical arm immobilized or my regular arm?
Your regular arm is wrapped up.
Okay.
Oh, and you also take 1 damage. Sorry, that was the point of that.
Oh, okay.
I have to remember to do the game now, there's like a game that I play here, and I have to do the game.
So I'm going to take my mechanical arm again and try punching at the tentacles that are wrapped around my good arm.
Okay.
So I'm trying to twist back and then just twist and use the momentum to sort of just get some power behind the swing.
Sure.
That's an 8.
Okay, so you do, one solid impact on it, but you feel the tentacles tighten further down on your arm as your arm starts to feel cold, as you're beginning to feel like a fatigue from being in this fight, but the creature in front of you is also beginning to kind of fall to pieces as it's not quite able to get a hold of you. Far off in the distance, you see Chaos form up again out of the ground and just go, "You're struggling harder than I thought you would, and that's kind of a nuisance, but I guess whatever. Either a puppet or dead, it's your choice. I don't really care which." And then Chaos turns and walks away again.
So I can kind of do whatever I want. Can I materialize like a hay fork and stab at it?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Are you going to pitch it?
I'm a little close for pitching, but I'll stab it. That's bad. I got a 4.
So your arm goes completely numb. The arm that is not, I guess, at this point holding a hay fork, stabbing at the creature. The maw opens up and snaps the hay fork in half, and you can feel a physical strain from this happening. Like it weighs on your mind that this thing broke like a construct in the cognitive realm.
Okay. Can I conjure up Sully's particle weapon?
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Okay. Since he is harmony and all. That's a 10.
So with a 10, you take one final slash and the head of this creature falls like just off of its body and the rest of it disintegrates back onto the ground. You feel a lurch as you hit the ground of this kind of smoke-filled, misty ship that has a decidedly rotting smell. You're in a room whose walls are completely covered in chaotic flesh that have grown up and encased the entire room. And around you, you see, like, above you, there's a pod that's been split open that you just think that you probably fell out of. And then around you, there are 2 other pods also sitting there.
Can I see who's in them or no?
They're solid.
Okay.
But you can try to, like, chop in if you want.
Is there one that's bigger than the other? Like, I assume Lucy's quite a bit bigger than Salvatore.
Are you deciding to save Lucy first? Yeah, there's one that's bigger.
I mean, yeah, because he's, like, invincible. Yeah, so I chop into that, whichever one seems larger.
Okay, you start hacking into it, and the flesh almost immediately begins regrowing as you're chopping at it. But you're able to kind of open up just enough that you see power armor and maybe like a glimpse of Sully's face before it regrows again.
Lucy?
Not Sully, gosh,
Okay.
Lucy. I'm sorry, I'm bad at names, guys.
Jealous, losing it. Can I get out my particle weapon? I know I said that I don't have Sully's on me.
Yeah.
But
you have your own, yeah.
okay, I'll try with that.
Are you going to try to just like cut the thing down, or are you just trying to get more of it loose?
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to like stab into it because that's like opening a box, like stabbing into a box with box cutters when you want the package inside. So I'm gonna try to like skin off is the wrong word, but
yeah,
like,
I understand what you're saying.
I'm not stabbing Lucy, is what I'm saying.
Carefully. You're going to
Yes.
carefully cut Lucy free, or try
Yes.
to.
So is that a roll?
Yes.
What is that? Cool?
I'm going to say cool this time because you're not exactly chopping it. You're trying to be careful. So I'll say cool, yeah.
Doesn't matter. That's a 6.
You start slicing into this sack that is around Lucy. And as you start cutting in, at first you're getting really good purchase, you're carefully slicing off a chunk. And as soon as your arm even brushes the surface of this thing, it's immediately grabbed and sucked in, and you feel yourself starting to get drug into this chaotic cocoon. And at the same time, you start having dual vision flashes of the cognitive realm and the real realm. And now you can make a choice. Which one do you want to try to lean towards? Do you want to try to lean towards the cognitive realm or lead towards reality?
I'm gonna say reality because my weird score sucks.
Okay, roll plus cool.
Okay. I'll leave the cognitive realm to Sully. That is an 8.
Okay, so you manage to kind of wrestle your arm free, and the cocoon snaps back shut again. And we are going to cut back over to the Honor. Crew of the Honor, you start to approach a vessel that seems almost adrift in space. It's not moving. Not only is it moving slowly, which this was a slow ship that was stolen with this map on it, it's just barely moving. It's basically like, if you throw something and it just still has momentum and it's basically coasting through space. That's what this thing is doing. So it still has some amount of speed to it, it has some amount of fixed velocity, but it's not gaining acceleration at all. Physics. Anyways, you start approaching this vessel. What does everybody do?
Mal will try to position the Honor and basically do laps isn't the right word. He's going to try to get views around the ship to see if we can find out what's going on there.
Okay. Are you wanting to physically see with eyes, or are you wanting to, like, scan with scanners?
I mean, both, but we can do them one at a time.
Well, okay.
I guess he'd do scanners first when they are approaching.
Okay, yeah, investigate an enemy ship, sensor array. Cool.
That is an 11.
Okay, so with an 11, this ship seems pretty normal. The thing that is apparent about it is you can see in the gaps, in the seams of the ship, you can see it's already starting to split and grow out with that same chaotic flesh that turned an imposition ship into basically a dragon. That's beginning to happen to this ship. It's just far less advanced, right? So it's not ripping itself apart and it's just pieces of metal glued to muscle. It's just seems like it's filling in the gaps.
Can Sully see if, like, reach out with his weird powers and see if there's, like, life forms on the ship?
You can.
That'll be a 12.
When you reach out to detect life forms, you detect 4.
Okay.
Okay, you know what? You detect 4 and you can ask me one other question because you rolled a 12. So that felt like a non-answer for a 12.
I mean, I don't think it's a non-answer because we don't know if there's anybody alive over there.
That's true. No, I mean, but for a 12, you get one more question.
I think, like, for role-playing, Sully would want to know if one of them is Jila.
One of them is Jila.
Okay.
Vi has made sure that she has whatever spacesuit type of equipment on.
Okay.
She is by whatever docking door we're going to use and is prepared to jump on the ship as soon as we dock.
Okay, sounds good.
Mal is going to call down. Be careful when we get close to that ship. There's definitely chaos on board.
Yeah, I was worried about that.
Up to y'all. The ship isn't doing anything. It's just basically, it seems like it has power, but it's not moving. It's not responding to you at all. This is on all of you. What you want to do?
I think we try to dock.
Yeah, I think so.
I join Vika in the docking bay.
All right. Malka, make me a piloting check to dock with this ship.
That is another 11.
Great. So you can see, well, I guess you can see a couple things. One, you can see a hole in the ship where it looks like something breached it, but now it's covered over with a shield and also with flesh. I forgot to mention that, but somewhat relevant. So two, you can just see there's like a cargo bay entry place that you can dock to, you know? So you pilot the Honor alongside of it, line up your 2 docking bays and, you know, link them together, however that works in this fantasy world. When you do, it makes a solid connection and you can open the doors.
I do that.
All right. The doors slide open and inside the ship, it is immediately dark. There are lights glowing on the ceilings, but they're being obfuscated by a thick fog that's pouring out of the ship into yours. You can see faintly, just kind of along the walls and maybe some spires growing up from the center of the ship, these oozing black, that same oozing black flesh that has covered everything. All right, it's on you. What you do?
I'm going to get out my rolling shield and turn that on.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Kind of toss that in front of me and let that be our...
Are you going to kind of kick it forward as you go?
Yeah.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
I think I stay close with Vi.
Oh, and Vi definitely has her drill gun out.
Okay. All right. So you start kicking your way through the ship, just kind of inching the shield ahead a little bit at a time. And I want everyone to make me an act under pressure roll, which is cool.
9.
11.
7.
Okay.
I rolled bad.
7 isn't a failure. 7 to 9. Success.
Yeah, but I had to add +3 to get to 7.
Okay, yeah, you rolled bad.
I rolled a 4.
As you start kicking the shield forward, just kind of inching it along, seemingly with no preamble, with no initial, warning, a massive tentacle slams into the shield and then recoils quickly. And then another does the same thing until it looks like there's 8 tentacles just whipping into the shield, slamming into it as you kind of watch it begin to like glow and heat up as it's taking impact after impact after impact. What does everybody do?
I shoot one with my syringe gun since I don't know where my weapon is.
Okay. Hang on, pause. Didn't we say that you found it in Jila's room? Did we not say we found it?
Did we say? I mean, either way, it doesn't super matter. I got a mixed success either way, you know.
That's fine. Yeah, okay.
So if I found it, I can slash at it with my particle magnetism weapon.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot at it.
All right. Roll blasts of baddies.
Okay, and also, sorry, I was trying to find my paper because apparently I didn't update my virtual version of my character sheet. The shield doesn't work against melee. So if something...
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't. No, it's specifically for, like, someone shooting at us.
Oh.
So give you a little...
Well, you know what? I kind of don't want to undo the scene, so...
Maybe it hit something else, but...
Today it works for melee, just because I don't want to have to redo all this, because I forgot that.
Well, we didn't get a... what's it called in between scenes, or in between arcs, so maybe I upgraded it.
Right.
That's another 9 from me.
Okay. And Malcolm, what do you do?
I'm also going to take a shot, and I rolled a 9.
Okay. So with 2 9s and an 11, you all kind of duck out from behind the shield as you keep inching it forward and take shots at these tentacles. As soon as you do, they kind of immediately retreat, no longer having the element of surprise. Like, you can tell this was one of those things that was meant to startle you or potentially capture you before a fight could happen. And now that you're responding, it's like, oh wait, no, that's not what we want. We don't want an actual fight. We want to just, like, you know, kill you where you're hidden. So they immediately recoil from this kind of clever and careful attack on them. And you continue making your way through the ship. Is there a specific area that you would want to search first?
I think we'd be going room to room.
It's a small ship, right?
Okay, just kind of sweeping.
I think we'd be going room to room, but didn't you say it was like a 2-person and...
That was Salvador's ship was very small.
Oh, this is not Salvador's ship.
Salvador's ship was destroyed.
Gotcha.
This is the ship they were chasing that was much slower. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch that initially. Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah, then just room to room.
Too many ships. So, as you move room to room, you can see the entire ship has been taken over by this, you know, chaotic ooze that you've seen on other ships before. In the case of the Black Dreadnought, there was like a heart of this stuff that you were able to find and kill to purge the ship. You haven't seen anything like that yet, but the first door you open, you see Jila hacking unsuccessfully at a cocoon, whilst the room is, you know, full of smoke and kind of this undulating flesh that seems like it's slowly encroaching in on her as she's trying to hack something loose.
Can I try to purge the... Because I see the multiple pods, right?
You do, yes.
Can I try to purge the pod that she's not hacking at with an axe?
You can, yeah.
That'll be a 10.
All right. Ari, did you roll plus weird?
I did.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What do you imagine you are doing? Not in the sense of moves, but in the sense of narrative. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think he's doing that thing where he, like, puts his hand on it, like his hand starts to glow, and he just imparts harmony into it.
Gotcha. As soon as you do that, your hand sinks into the pod, and you are immediately in the cognitive realm. Once you're there, you see a kind of familiar face in that it's Salvador, not someone that you particularly knew well before you were in a coma for a long time, who is just standing looking extremely calm with black eyes staring at you. What is everybody else doing?
So, seeing as Sully did not take the opportunity to, like, introduce himself to the room that includes Jila, I guess Mal will do it. Be like, hey, do you need any help with that?
With the Cap, what are y'all doing here?
Says Jila, not noticing her boyfriend standing next to her.
I'm a little busy. Lucy's in a pod.
Says her boyfriend, not noticing Jila.
To her boyfriend, it's been a couple days.
1 week since you looked at me.
Okay.
Well, we heard you were in trouble out here, so we came to rescue you.
Well, right now Lucy is the one who needs rescuing.
And Salvador.
Oh, and Salvador. And then I think she looks over and sees you, but you're like in the cognitive realm, so you're not responsive, right?
Yep.
I think she sees you and like drops the particle weapon and like runs over and wraps her arms around you and then realizes that you're not like really there.
I'm AFK again.
Yeah, right. BRB, Sully.
Cody, did you say that it's like the chaos was encroaching on Jila?
The room's kind of pressing in, yeah.
Okay, when she goes over to Sully, Vi's just gonna kind of take her place in terms of like trying to push back the chaos, so shooting at it.
Okay.
Not specifically the pod that Lucy is in, but
sure,
keeping it at bay.
Sure, that makes sense.
And Mal was gonna try, like, was planning to help Jila with getting Lucy free, but seeing as she left, I guess he'll just start trying to do that.
Okay, so everybody... Well, okay, so first of all, Jila, as soon as you touch Sully, you immediately feel that pull into the cognitive realm again. Do you roll with it, or do you try to pull back and just chop at the the pod?
Ooh, I think if it's Sully, she'll go with it.
Okay, so you feel yourself sink into the cognitive realm and are dropped next to Sully, staring at Salvador with black eyes. Meanwhile, Vika and Malcolm, you are both trying to hack at this pod to release Lucy. Make me an attack with your weapons on that.
It's a 9.
11.
Okay, so with an 11, do you want to do extra damage, or do you want to avoid taking damage, or avoid, like, a negative?
I'll do extra damage at this point.
Okay.
I'm feeling pretty good.
You hack away at the pod, and you can almost see, like, the outline of Lucy becoming more apparent as you're carving off big chunks. The two of you working together are able to make pretty good headway. But as you're hacking, you kind of feel yourself sinking into the floor, and before you know it, you're no longer able to move your feet as the floor of this ship has entirely grabbed, like, your ankles and is starting to crawl its way up to your knees. Jila and Sully, back to you. You're in the cognitive realm, staring at Salvador. What do you do?
Sully!
Jila.
I guess continues to hug him? I don't know how that transfers from reality to the cognitive realm. She hugs with her brain? I don't know.
Yeah, you brain hug Sully. Perfect.
Yeah. Romance.
The exact romantic reunion I was hoping for. Brain hugs.
Brain hugs.
What's Sully doing?
Well, I mean, I think he was in the middle of something when he gets hugged out of nowhere.
No, I'm just laughing.
I think he was, like, slowly approaching Salvador to, like, make sure, like...
she, like, tackles
Right, he's, like, aware, like, not really aware of his surroundings, because he's, like, that was very loud. He's not really aware of his surroundings, because he's focusing very much on Salvador and making sure, like, chaos doesn't blindside him, and then he gets blindsided by a hug.
Cool. Both of you roll act under pressure.
That's a 9.
9.
Oh,
great.
We're so cute.
Do you want to take damage or a status effect?
Status effect?
Status effect seems less bad.
Okay, great. So you look over after Jila kind of hugs you. As you're walking closely, you have a brief moment of distraction. When you look back, Salvador has changed. One of his arms has become a whip-like tentacle, and the other just kind of a club. They're growing out of, like, you can see them bulging out of his skin. And in that moment that you turn, he swings one arm forward, and you feel tentacles wrap around one of your one of your legs, pinning you in place. All right, back around to the top here. Vika and Malcolm, what do you do? You're trapped. You're stuck to the floor.
I mean, being stuck to the floor doesn't stop me from shooting, so I'm doing that again.
Okay, so you're just gonna keep shooting?
Yes.
Gotcha.
12.
Okay. And Malcolm.
Yeah, Mal's gonna be blasting as well.
All right.
The 7 again.
The pod detaches and falls to the ground. It splits open and Lucy kind of tumbles out, but is still on the floor of this thing. When this happens, though, you feel a shudder, and the floor underneath of you releases its hold a little bit, but you can see the flesh of the ship beginning to form up in the center of the room, a dog-like creature with long arms and clawed hands beginning to make itself out of the goo of the ship. You can see snarling jaws beginning to snap. And then we are going to switch over to Sully and Vika.
Nope.
Sully and Jila.
Sully and Jila, sorry, gosh. Sully and Jila.
All right, I can see that we're a little busy here, but I am so glad to see you. We will have a tearful reunion later. Okay, I'm ready.
Sounds good.
You both are rolling, but what are you doing?
I think I'm going to continue to try to cleanse, like, as I learned in my spiritual journey.
Okay.
So I think I'd let Jila go in, like, punching, and I would, like, she holds, I punch.
Yeah, I get you.
Kind of thing. And by she holds, I mean she does the punching to distract them so I can cleanse them.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, so I'm pulling out the particle weapon again and stabbing.
That's the sound chaos makes.
And I got an 11.
I got an 11 as well.
Great. Sully, you reach down and kind of just touch this tendril that has wrapped itself around you and start willing harmonious thoughts into it. Meanwhile, Jila is trying to defend you from the attacking tentacles, all of this being very successful. As you do this, though, you can see forming up again that same creature that attacked Jila. Well, I guess you don't know this, Sully, but Jila, that same creature that attacked you, is beginning to form up again in the cognitive realm, snarling and snapping as it rushes towards the both of you. We're going to switch back to Malcolm and Vika.
So now we've got a big dog thing in front of us?
Now there's a big dog thing that's kind of connected to the floor and trying to make itself manifest out of flesh in front of you.
Oh, I don't think so. And she's shooting it. 15.
More damage or avoid damage?
More damage.
All right. Oh, I didn't mark your damage down.
You haven't been.
No, but you didn't take any. You just got rooted to the floor. Anyways, the thing lunges at you, and by that I mean it kind of rips itself from the floor and just throws its body at you, not yet fully formed, as you fire at it in midair. You see yourself doing damage as it, like, pieces of it are flying away, but it still crashes into you, all like sinewy muscle and forming teeth crushing against you as you're kind of knocked backwards to the floor, being like this thing piling on top of you.
Am I still stuck to the floor?
You're basically still stuck to the floor with a giant creature kind of half melting on top of you, yeah.
Got it, okay.
Malcolm, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to fight it off of her.
Oh, okay.
That is an 8.
Okay, so with an 8, you start chopping at it. You can see again, it's making progress. You can, like, as it's trying to connect to the ground of the ship to, like, pull more material off of the ship, you can kind of hack those tendrils loose and keep it from getting more and more powerful. But while you're doing this, its body just twists, still attached to Vika and slamming at her. It just swings one of its arms towards you, and when it hits you, it almost just breaks loose. But it's still a giant clawed arm hitting you in the face, leaving cuts across your face as you take 2 damage. Sully and Jila. You're in the cognitive realm trying to will harmony into Salvador. But a creature is now rushing towards you. What do you do?
I think I'm going to take on the wolf thing that I saw before to keep it from interrupting Sully.
Okay.
Man, that's what I was hoping you'd do.
I got a 7 to stab with my particle axe. Or slice with my particle axe.
Okay.
I'm going to try to push more harmony into Salvador. Or Chaos Salvador.
Okay.
Salvador, if you will.
I won't, but go ahead.
And I think he's trying to rush a little bit more since things are getting dicey.
Yep.
That would be a 13 I got.
Woo!
Dang, avoiding damage or just taking the damage and trying to make harmony happen?
I think I'm taking the damage and trying to make harmony happen.
All right. So, that giant club that Jila had been protecting you from just crashes into your head as you're knocked to one knee, but you can see the Salvador's eyes kind of clear as the chaos that had grabbed a hold of him breaks free. But when this happens, you can feel like a renewed ferocity from this dog thing that is now attacking Jila. Jila, you said you rolled a 7, right?
Yes, sir.
What weapon are you using again?
My particle axe.
So you rush up and you just take one big chop with your particle axe. It sinks straight into the thing's shoulder, and as it does this, you just feel it sink further and further and further as it basically absorbs the head of your axe, and then just rakes across you with its giant claws. You take 2 damage, but make me a weird check.
That's a 3.
With a 3, you fall to your knees on the slick slime of this ship, your head ringing like you have a terrible splitting headache, and your body aching from exertion that it has never actually done. So now kind of happening at the same time is Vika, Jila, and Malcolm. What are the 3 of you doing?
Wait, what? Oh, do I fall out of the cognitive realm?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't. Sorry.
Am I still able to shoot this thing?
Yeah, it's just like directly on top of you at this point. I don't have like range bands on weapons, so it's kind of whatever.
Okay, I think she's kind of like trying to put her gun where the head would be to kind of do like a headshot, and just gonna shoot it again. All right, it's a bad roll, but let me see if I can add up enough stuff to get it to a mix. I can. That is a 7.
All right, so with a 7, you can see like its head keeps reforming, and then you shoot it, and then its head reforms again, and it's just sucking more material off the floor of the ship as you're continually blasting away at this chaos dog thing that's trying to like bite onto you. Meanwhile, it's still just kind of with half-formed arms that it can manage to make before they're snapped off in its effort to attack you, hammering against you, dealing extra damage. Malcolm, what do you do?
I think he's going to continue the same thing, just trying to get this chaos dog thing off of Vi.
Okay.
That's bad. That would be a 6.
You take another swing with your... because you're using like that sword gun thing you have, right?
Yeah.
So as you swing down with your sword part of your sword gun, it's kind of learned to predict this, and it just like unforms one of its arms right before you're about to hit it, and then another one hits you and knocks you off your feet up into the ceiling. You don't fall back from the ceiling. Instead, you feel the ceiling like grow around your waist, and you're starting to get pulled into the ceiling. You take 1 damage.
It's not a good place to be.
Jila.
Jila's gonna draw her particle axe in real life, and she's kneeling on the floor, so she's gonna try to like sweep the legs essentially with her axe.
Gotcha.
It's one hell to sweep the legs.
9.
Alright, so you hack through some of the legs, and again, you can see this making it almost less able to attack Vika because it's able to pull less material from the floor as you hack at its legs that are rooting it onto like the living carpet. You know, I don't want to ever say living carpet again. The living carpet of the ship. As you're hacking at it, though, you can feel your feet beginning to sink and root you to the floor, and tentacles from this thing are reaching up and slapping you in the face with claws beginning to form on them, and you take 2 damage. Ooh, you're very hurt. Sully, back in the cognitive realm. You're now alone with a dog. It's mad at you.
How's Salvador doing?
Oh, that's a really good question. Salvador is laying on the floor.
Is he still black-eyed?
Well, no.
It started to clear.
They started to clear and then he fainted.
Okay, so he's good. I will attack Space Doggo. Oof, could have been better. That's an 8.
So with an 8, you're able to, are you using weird right now?
Yeah, I was using weird.
Okay.
I assume in cognitive realm everything's just weird.
It is, yeah, for you. Anyways. So you jump towards it, and you're able to hold your own in this fight, but in the cognitive realm, this dog is not half-formed and being made out of weird flesh. This is like its fully manifested identity, ready to fight you, as it is a direct subordinate of chaos. And you're like taking damage as you're exchanging blows with this thing, but you are exchanging blows with it, so not the worst it could be going, but could be going better. Vika, Jila, and Malcolm, back on you.
I mean, I'm just gonna keep shooting.
Okay.
That's... if I'm pinned down... 9.
So with a 9, you're still just firing up into its head. The thing is now no longer able to reform quite so easily as it was before. Instead, now it's just kind of trying to get out of the way and put less critical parts of itself in front of you as the room is beginning to be less fully overgrown with chaotic flesh. It's still managing to club into you with heavy arms, but you can feel the blows growing weaker. Malcolm, what are you doing?
Well, I'm stuck to the ceiling.
You are stuck to the ceiling.
And I very much like to find a way out of being stuck to the ceiling. I think I'm going to use my Quiet in the Storm skill.
Okay.
To try to keep myself calm and find potential ways to get out of this.
Okay, roll that up.
That is an 11.
You can feel the flesh around you beginning to thin, and you realize that this thing is having trouble deciding between whether to keep you pinned to the ceiling or whether to let go of you. So you kind of have a choice of you can attack up and kind of at the structure above you, and weakening that, it won't be able to keep it held together enough to keep you from just falling back to the floor. Or you can just keep firing at this main dog thing with your gun. It's kind of a choice that you have to make.
Okay. Can I do that now, or do I have to wait till next turn?
It feels like you should be able to do it now.
Oh, okay. Then I will continue to fire at the thing on the dog thing on the floor, because I want to protect my crewmates.
Okay.
That is a lot better. That is a 10.
Okay, so with a 10, yeah, I mean, you're just now almost more easily able to take careful aim and focus fire in a way that kind of keeps Vika more safe from this creature, from its attacks.
Yeah, by pinning me to the ceiling, it gave me an accidental sniper's perch.
It did, but you feel your mind getting tugged towards the cognitive realm. Make me a weird check.
Oh, good. My best stat. But I still got a 9, though.
Hey, good job. There isn't really a mixed success to this. This was pretty binary whether or not you got tugged into the cognitive realm and used as a meat shield in its fight against Sully. You don't. Good job. But that's what I wanted to have happen in this scene. So thank you for ruining my scene with your suddenly good rolls.
Welcome.
Jila, what you about?
I'm going to take a chop with the particle axe at the arms that are trying to club Vika. Woo! That's a 14.
Dang, that's a good roll. Alright, so at this point now the dog is detached from the floor and is kind of scrambling away from Jila so it can... Well, Jila and Vika, so it can, like, try to retreat. It's basically trying to hide because it's run out of flesh to really keep regrowing itself. The room is now far clearer and less misty, as you've managed to hack away and shoot away most of the health that this thing had. Alright, back in the cognitive realm, Sully. The creature in front of you is shrinking in size, but is not losing any of its shape, as you see it snarling and snapping at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna go stab it some more.
Okie doke.
That will be a 9.
Alright, so in one final exchange of blows, you feel one final clawed scrape against your mind as you deliver the final slash to this thing, and then you're back in the room with your crew on board a strange vessel. The thing's dead.
Yeah, I figured. Is the room still infected and stuff?
No. At this point, basically, like, what small pockets of flesh there were remaining in the room are now just beginning to evaporate, as there's no chaotic presence here to hold them together.
Okay, 2 questions. 1, does anybody catch me?
Sully doesn't.
Everyone make a cool check. Everyone who wants to try to catch him, make a cool check.
I rolled an 8. Sully still
7.
doesn't.
Did you say there's like no chaos left?
Not much.
Well, I was on the floor covered by all that. I'm not going to be able to catch him.
So, Jila rolled the worst. So, Jila, you see your captain falling from the ceiling. You make an attempt to catch him. It goes kind of okay.
I break his fall slightly.
Yeah.
That was going to be my next question, is if nobody caught me, who do I fall on?
Jila, you know.
Do we see Salvador and Lucy?
Yes, they are both laying on the ground unconscious.
Okay. Sully, you found 4 life forms on board, didn't you?
Yes, that is correct.
Guessing the 4th one isn't in this room, is it?
I thought the 4th one was that weird dog monstrosity thing.
Can you check?
Yeah, I can do that. I do that. That'll be a 14.
What a waste.
Well, I was gonna say there's only 3 life forms, but I guess there's your crew plus 2.
Yeah.
This is everybody, though.
This is everybody. Yeah. There aren't any other life forms on the ship.
It looks like we are clear and that the last life form was Chaos, who we have eradicated, so high fives all around.
Yeah, no more slurpy walls.
Well, okay, hang on those high fives. Jila, did you find the map?
No, not yet. That would be the next order of business for sure.
For Slurpee walls, all I can think of is Veggie Tales, though.
Oh.
The Jericho where they drop Slurpees on them.
Any idea where that would be? Did Chaos get a hold of it?
I honestly couldn't tell you. We came in and Lucy got grabbed like immediately, basically, and then I tried to go after him. Then I got sent to the cognitive realm. Chaos showed up, started assassinating me, assassinated back. Then the wolf thing came and attacked me. I attacked it until I came out of the cognitive realm. Then y'all show up, and I think that's it.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's a way to do half a high five, but half a high five all around, and let's see if we can figure out where this map is.
I'll go check the main computer, and Malcolm will head up to the bridge.
All right, you head up to the bridge. It's kind of familiar because this was an outlaw ship, so whatever modifications the outlaws typically do would be here as well. So you're able to access the computer, and you can make me a roll plus smarts.
That is an 8.
Okay, so with an 8, you start trying to access the computer, and I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. It becomes very apparent that where the map is stored is just the entire ship, in that it would have not been stored in one location in like an easy to destroy way. It would be like it would be stored in every subsystem of this ship, right? So if there's a lot of different places to store memory, it'd be stored in all of those. You know what I mean? It was distributed and copied as much as possible on this one vessel. So yeah, with an 8, that's the information you get.
So we don't know if it was necessarily sent out of the ship?
Oh, that's a really good question that I would say that's a good question you could make a roll to find out.
I'm going to make a roll to find that out then.
Sure.
Is that plus sharp?
That would be sharp, yes.
That's a 10.
Okay, so with a 10, you find out this. The map has not been transmitted anywhere for the sake of having a reason. I'll say it's too large. It's basically an exact map of the entire galaxy, which is not a small thing. And also like routing data for how best to get to the specific planet that you sent them to, which is kind of out in the boonies. So having good tracking data for there is not easy to get necessarily. But transmissions were sent from this ship after it left the planet. And so, like, you know that they were talking to somebody, you just don't know who or why, but transmissions were sent, like, coordinate data for the ship itself, time frames, things like that.
Does it ever mention the name of the planet?
No, but the name of the planet it wouldn't matter. Like, whatever name you called it wouldn't be a location.
Okay, and then were any of those coordinates?
Yes, but not of... not of your home system, more of this ship. It was like, where am I at now? That's basically what it is there's a pin dropped on this ship, not on your home world.
Okay, so the person who stole the ship did not at any point send the coordinates of where we are currently hiding out of the ship.
Correct.
Okay.
That being said, Chaos was here and it kind of has a hive mind, so...
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you report that it's been copied everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I relay all of that.
Yeah, Mal would relay anything he finds out as well.
So if that's the case, should we just be blowing this whole ship up? I know it's kind of maybe a waste, unless we want to tow it back to outlaw space.
I mean, it can still fly, can't it?
I mean...
Can it? Can I determine if the ship can still fly?
That could be some investigation checks if you want to find that out.
I will try to find that out. That is a 12.
The engine was jettisoned. Or not the engine, but the core.
No, the ship cannot fly.
Yeah, I can't put this back together unless we're able to get it back to Perthus. I really hate to lose a ship, but I was thinking the same thing, Jila. I think we're going to have to blow it up.
I have a question. Has Sully been informed that Homestead's gone?
I don't think we had time for that.
No, I don't think we had time for that. I think we got up in the air and you went back and did your thing, and we were like, we're just going to handle all this when we are done.
If I may interject, this may be a stupid question, but why are we not towing it back to Homestead?
Yeah.
Shoot, I knew there was something we forgot. Yeah, Homestead's not around anymore. Interstellar Council found us.
From the sounds of it, it sounds like they did not find us in a way that left us time to get out of there. Or at least many of us.
Some did, but no, a lot of us didn't.
It's gone, Sully.
Well, okay.
Anyway, I don't know if there's anything we can salvage from this ship, but yeah, I think, Jila, I think we tank it. Let's blow it up.
Can I check on Salvador and Lucy's health?
So the answer to that is normally it would have been yes if you had said that like 30 seconds ago, but instead it's no, because as the decision is reached to blow up the ship, alarm bells start ringing from the cockpit, and an Interstellar Council ship drops out of phased anti-space. It is not a small, cruiser-sized ship. This would be a massive, what are the sizes of ships that I described again?
Titan is what the Black Dreadnought is, or what the Wayfarer is, yeah.
No. Okay, so sorry. So there's cruisers, which is what you have now, right? Enough to store, a crew of people. Then there are Goliaths. These would be the size of cities. It is a Goliath-class ship that drops out of phased anti-space. So this thing would be able to hold hundreds of ships similar to the size of yours. As soon as it does, a hailing, light starts flashing on the console of the ship. We hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Outlaws Wanted. Music for this show is from danosongs.com, audionautics.com, zapsplat.com, and in the public domain. If you like this show, you can check out more of our actual play podcasts at the Wandering Gamer Network's website or on Podbean. You can also interact with us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We also post Let's Play videos under our YouTube channel, the Wandering Gamer Network, and on Twitch we can be found at wandering_gamers. Now remember, it's not the outlaws that make trouble, it's trouble that makes the outlaws.